Hello. Today, hello. My name is Skylah, and today on my TED Talk, I wanted to talk to you about Richard. Throughout the exploration of making the Motown modal, both Lily and I realized that there were many resonant and dissonant ideas between William Shakespeare's Richard III and Al Pacino's Looking for Richard. Some resonance that we had spotted was the idea of Richard's power of manipulation, both mirroring his cleverness and evil and highlighting his goals and how he will achieve them. Another resonance is Anne in both forms of media. At first, having her portrayed as a strong woman who stands up for herself when faced against Richard, only to submit to Richard's manipulation and the promised thought of power through Richard. The portrayal of Anne is mirrored in both mediums, but the idea and meaning behind them are quite different. As Shakespeare had multiple strong female characters such as the Duchess and Elizabeth, but he made Anne weak to highlight just how good at manipulation, and when Richard wishes to gain something, he's determined to obtain it. While Pacino, throughout Looking for Richard, evidently doesn't exactly know what to do with the women and are confused as to what their roles are in the play, and opts to get rid of them. It's not because they are women, but because the women's strengths are shown to be supernatural in nature, and in Pacino's version of the story, he doesn't want to explore the supernatural, but more the individual of Richard himself. Each text portrayal of their own self-determined themes reflect dominant philosophies and the values held by the contextual time periods throughout the production of each text. Shakespeare's King Richard explores power and identity in a theocentric context of the Elizabethan society, and 4 centuries later, Al Pacino's Looking for Richard examines Richard's identity and acquisition of power in a contemporary secular society. Shakespeare's audience had a deep understanding of Machiavelli's Prince, which Shakespeare took significant inspiration from when writing the character Richard. Shakespeare uses the Machiavellian principles to help illustrate the consequences of suppressing one's humanity for the pursuit of power, and his rapid and calculative seizure of power. In the Elizabethan theocentric era, the belief of the great chain of being is paramount. Shakespeare explores through Richard III the predestination and the terrible consequences of altering God's will through Richard's insatiable greed for power and his breaking of political boundaries, while Pacino's context for the docudrama is set in 1996. There is a significant emphasis on power within an individual. Pacino also entwines a modern concept such as circularism and provides an alternative hierarchical system that provides a contrast to the chain of being. The meaning shaped behind comparing the context and values of the text helps shape our understanding of the different contexts of the time and just how much a piece of media from years and years ago can still be relevant and can be contextualized to fit into a contemporary audience, as well as how the piece of media can change through the director's personal views. As Shakespeare wanted to focus on the religion and what the consequences of the forceful seizure of power can entail, while in Pacino's version he focuses on Richard's individualism and his philosophy behind all the actions and the downfall and morals of an individual rather than the collective. And thank you for listening to my TED Talk.